For years, I have been living in a body that doesn't quite feel like my own. Well, I'm taking control of that. In this episode, I'm going to take you through the whole process of my first lipedema surgery. I'm going to share with you my post-surgery thoughts, before and after photos, and also what recovery looks like, which is probably not going to be very pretty. I'm going to be super raw, super vulnerable, very emotional most likely, and I hope you will come along on this journey with me. So stay tuned as we dive into this next chapter of my journey towards regaining control over my body and my life. I was diagnosed with lipedema last year at the age of 41, but I always knew that there was something wrong with my body. My legs just didn't look like everybody else's, so I started to research a little bit online, particularly because I was starting to feel a lot more pain and heaviness below my knees. I jumped onto social media and I started to see some women that had larger legs and looked a little bit like me, and this term lipedema came up, and that's when I went onto Dr. Google to have a look and see what I could find. And from looking at the list of symptoms and looking at photos, I self-diagnosed myself with lipedema. I actually can't believe that it took that many years to get diagnosed, because I have been to doctors before, I've had personal trainers, and they have never mentioned anything before. About 10 years ago, I actually went to see a plastic surgeon about having liposuction, and he never mentioned anything to me about lipedema. Luckily, I didn't go through with it because that could have made a huge mess of my legs. I'm just so shocked that even after seeing a number of medical professionals, the word lipedema never came up. They never actually diagnosed me. It was always, you're obese, you need to lose weight, have you considered taking injections? Have you considered diet pills? When I found out that I had lipedema, it was quite a shock. Lipedema is the abnormal accumulation of fat, particularly in the lower half of the body. So the ankles, all the way up to the knees, all the way up to the thighs and the hips. And it also is in this section of the arm here. Women with lipedema have a very distinct shape. They will have a larger lower body with a regular upper body. The hands and feet are often not affected. Lipedema is often misdiagnosed for obesity or lymphedema, which is a completely different condition. Also, the thing with lipedema fat is that it doesn't metabolize, so it doesn't respond to diet or exercise. So the symptoms of lipedema are very different to obesity. With lipedema, my skin is very sensitive to the touch, and I'll often bruise really easily. The skin is also very sensitive as well, particularly around the insides of my knees, around my ankles, also my arms. If anyone pinches my arms, I will jump through the roof, and then there will be a bruise there the next day. I can also feel lumpy nodules in my fat, so it feels almost a bit like baked beans, I would say. I also get a lot of pain and heaviness and swelling, particularly below my knees. It swells up like a balloon. I started noticing changes in my body after puberty. I started to get a lot of cellulite. I started to develop some small outer thighs and inner thighs, but it was really after my pregnancy that I really started to see the biggest changes. My legs started to get a lot heavier, and I also noticed that my outer thighs and my inner thighs were really starting to get a lot bigger. And over the last couple of years, I've seen the progression accelerate even more, and I've started to develop lobes on my outer thighs. Lipedema definitely has a genetic component. My mother and grandmother both have the same shape, although they haven't been formally diagnosed. The scary thing about lipedema is it's actually progressive. So it starts from stage 1 and goes all the way to stage 4. Late stage 4 is actually when a lot of women lose their mobility and they aren't actually able to walk. There's no cure to lipedema, but there are ways that women can manage their symptoms, such as MLD, which is manual lymphatic drainage massage. It helps to move the fluid throughout the body, and it helps to alleviate some of the pain, discomfort, and swelling in the body. Wearing compression on a daily basis can also help with managing the swelling, and women can also benefit from an anti-inflammatory diet. The only way to truly reduce the amount of lipedema fat in your body is surgery. I've chosen to have surgery because this is a progressive disorder. It's so scary to me that one day I could potentially lose my mobility. We have just arrived in Madrid and we're heading straight to Lipemedical to meet with Dr. Burgos to learn more about lipedema and how it's diagnosed.
Here we are with Kylie today. She's going to be our model to explain what are the main characteristics of lipedema. So first thing we're going to look when we search for lipedema features is a clear disproportion between a torso, which is very standard, with a volume of the legs that does not correspond. We see how the knee has lost its anatomical shape with an accumulation above it and specific specifically in the inner part of the knee. We see how the legs have acquired a more or less like tubular shape. At the same time, the feet are unaffected. Another characteristic is that the fat is not soft. It's more like nodular, more fibrotic, and much more dense. Here we see that there's a lot of volume that's generating a curve that we're gonna change completely. In her case, we start to see that the fat is creating some lobes. Step on your toes, yes, if possible. And we don't see the calf muscle, which is beneath there, but it's hidden with a coat of fat. And in her case, it has a lot of volume on the sides of her hips. And one of the keys of diagnosing lipedema is the presence of symptoms. Of course, we're gonna listen to the patient and knowing about how the situation is impacting her life in terms of heaviness, pain, discomfort, easy bruising. But when we're gonna do the physical examination, we're gonna check one specific area, which is the most sensitive.
I'm waiting for this already.
Hope you're ready for that. This pinch here, in this area here. So just below the skin, in the inner part of the knee, in here, sorry. That is one of the most sensitive areas. Also a little bit of in here, above the knee, and specifically also in here. And we clearly see that this is not an obesity case. When you do have obesity, the fat is much more central, and here all the volume, or almost all the volume, is located in the legs.
So what stage would I be diagnosed as?
I would say this was stage 2/3, meaning that more 2 in the lower areas, but starting to be a more advanced case in the upper legs. First thing we're gonna see, once again, is a disproportion between this volume here and the volume of her torso. All right, we see how the fat, it's much more dense compared to normal fat. We see how the hand is unaffected, and from here on is where we do have some volume. If we don't know where to look in terms of pain, you're gonna pinch in here, right? But not a big pinch, which sometimes is sensitive, but a small pinch, which is, sorry, very sensitive in there. This area also is also very sensitive sometimes, Okay, so when we treat the arms, we're gonna dress from the wrists to the shoulder, all right? All the way, and 360. These kind of surgeries are gonna be very intensive. We're gonna remove a lot of volume. We won't do it all at once. We're not gonna do a sequence. So the surgery we're gonna do with her tomorrow is the area of the lower legs, which is gonna be from both ankles to more or less above the knees. And the idea is to try to restore the kneecap, getting to see the full shape of the shin bone, and getting to see the calf muscles that are somewhere in there.
I don't believe him. I don't think I actually have calf muscles, so I don't believe you.
All right.
It'll be interesting. I can't wait to see this tomorrow.
Let's see about that.
We then had a quick chat about tomorrow's surgery and what I can expect. But I won't bore you with all the details here. You're going to see everything coming up soon. So how did I end up coming to Madrid for surgery? Here's my requirements for choosing a surgeon. I had a number of requirements when it came to picking a surgeon. And the first one was that they had to be a specialist in lipedema. I didn't want a jack of all trades, someone that does lipo one day, boobs the next, nose job the next day. I also researched a lot about the different types of techniques for liposuction for lipedema patients. And I really wanted to find a doctor that did WAL, or water-assisted liposuction, because it is supposed to be the most gentle on the veins and also the lymphatic system. I was also looking for a surgeon that operated in a hospital, that had access to a blood bank and emergency services. Another requirement that was really important to me was to be able to see the surgeon's work, so seeing lots of before and after photos so that I could see the quality of their work. I was also looking for a surgeon that was reasonably priced. I felt like some of the other quotes that I got, I felt like they were just in it to make money, and I felt like I was being ripped off. And something else that's really important to me is finding a surgeon that is passionate about their work and really cares for their patients. After a lot of research, a lot of scouring the web, something just kept bringing me back to Madrid. So I connected with a number of ladies that had had surgery with Lipemedical, and they were just so over the moon with their results and the experience that they had. Lipemedical definitely ticked all of my requirements. When I had my first initial consultation with Dr. Burgos from the Lipemedical team, I just knew that they were the right team for me. Dr. Burgos was just so kind and caring, and he really made me feel seen and heard, and he really took his time to answer all of my questions and concerns. I've just arrived at the hospital. It's only 7 a.m. in the morning, just waiting for the admissions office to open, and then they're going to check me in, and then I'll be going up to see the Lipemedical team. I'm nervous, excited. I've already done a ton of wheeze this morning, so I definitely think that that's nervous energy, nervous wheeze. But I'm excited to get these new legs. I can't believe I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have ankles and I'm going to have knees. I didn't think I had knees. I haven't seen my knees since I was a teenager. So yeah, this is going to be awesome. And I'm going to have calf muscles. What? I swore I just missed out on getting calf muscles, but apparently they are in there. Just finished at the admissions. That was so quick. Just signed a few forms, which were in Spanish. And now we're off to the 3rd floor to go and find my room. And guess what? I just went to the toilet for number 2. I've heard from a number of ladies that you can get a little constipated after surgery. So I was a little worried after the amount of pizza I ate last night that I wasn't going to be able to go to the toilet. So I'm so excited. I feel good. I feel like I'm ready now. Just registered at the reception. I now have to get into this lovely attire. Very fashionable. All right, let's do this. So welcome to my room. I'm gonna give you a quick tour. So first we have here a lovely reclining chair. I think it's gonna be very comfortable when I flick this footrest out. Comfy bed. I mean, is it Egyptian cotton? Not sure, but still it feels pretty soft. Actually have my own private ensuite bathroom. It's really big. It's so spacious, modern, and really clean. And it also has a locked wardrobe, which is great because we have lots of bags. And then we have this lovely sofa here, which actually converts to a bed. So very handy. Is it the Four Seasons? Is it the Ritz? No, not really, but it's very spacious. Could need a few paintings on the wall, maybe a little color. But, yeah, it's pretty nice, pretty comfortable. Hi, honey.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you going?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all checked in. I have this beautiful gown on.
I wish I could hug you. I'm hugging you for the phone. Hug.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
You got this. I wish you all the best. You can do this. It's gonna be amazing.
Thank you, darling. I love you so much.
Love you too.
Before I knew it, Dr. Burgos walked in with that signature smile. He checks out my legs, grabs a marker like he's Picasso, and starts sketching out his battle plans. A couple of quick photos later, and we're ready to roll.
Okay, it's really happening now. I've got all my markings on my legs. Dr. Burgos has briefed me about everything that's going to be happening today, and we decided that we are going to take a more aggressive approach and try to remove as much of the lipedema fat as possible, which means that there will be a little bit more recovery time. It's not about aesthetics. It's not about having perfect legs. I know that I'm never going to have model's legs. I'm not 20 anymore. I'm completely realistic about the expectations. For me, it's about the mobility and the future, considering this is a progressive disease. I'm so proud of myself, and I feel like I'm going to get emotional now. I'm really taking control of my life. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. It's like such a huge thing. And I'm really proud of me. I just really feel for other ladies out there that are going through this too and are looking forward to their surgeries, and even ladies that can't yet afford their surgeries because, you know, like in a lot of cases insurance doesn't cover it, and it's the case for me as well. And I'm just so fortunate and so lucky that I have this opportunity that I can actually take control of my life and do something about my legs. The porter's on its way. They're going to be coming to grab me any minute now. I'm not nervous. I'm not scared. I feel really good. I trust Dr. Burgos. I trust the Lipemedical team. They've been fantastic so far. I know that I'm in good hands, so I feel good, and I can't wait to see the results.
Today, Dr. Burgos is using a technique called water-assisted liposuction. It works by gently loosening the fat with a pressurized stream of water, making it easier to remove the fat without damaging the surrounding tissue. It's far less aggressive than traditional lipo, which means less bruising, faster healing, and most importantly, it helps protect the lymphatic system.
I just got back from surgery and recovery, and now I'm in my room. As you can see, I'm like shaking uncontrollably.
Apparently it's a coldness that you experience after surgery and also from the adrenaline. If you're having this surgery too, that's something to expect because I didn't know. Dr. Burgos just left and he said that everything went really good. They took out 6.4 litres, mostly from the section above my knee. It took about 4 hours because the fat was very dense and very fibrotic. I wouldn't say I'm in pain, but I definitely feel a bit uncomfortable in my legs. My legs feel really heavy and sore and a bit tender, especially the bit above my knee. I'm gonna try to stop shivering and then I'll update you a little bit more a bit later. I could pee though. I'm actually really busting for the toilet. Obviously I was pretty emotional right before the surgery. I think I was just very overwhelmed and just thinking about everything. It was just kind of all hitting me and the floodgates opened and that was it. I couldn't stop. And it continued all the way down to the surgery room. I got wheeled down by the most gorgeous porter and he was just giving me lots of encouraging words and it was just very supportive, very sweet. After I was gowned up, Dr. Burgos warned me that it's going to be a very cold bath I'm just about to receive. So he went over, grabbed a sponge, and then he sponged this kind of brown liquid, I think it's an antiseptic, all over me. And can I tell you, it was like a cold plunge. We had some kind of funny conversations. So it went from me having a meltdown to me kind of getting all giggly and going a little nutty right before I went to sleep. So I think he gave me an interesting little sedative, I would say. First he said he was going to put mojito in it and then I told him no, put some sangria in it. I reckon that must be the best part of the surgery is the pre-surgery loopiness from the patients. I didn't even feel myself going into the sleeping sensation. So yeah, that was weird, but yeah, very, very relaxing. So I only spent about 45 minutes in the recovery room and then I was taken back to my actual room because my vitals and everything were good. I was obviously very alert and awake and feeling good. So most people stay in the recovery for 1 to 2 hours while they're coming out of the anesthesia. So yeah, it was quite crazy that I just kind of like woke up and I was ready to go. And it looks like some food has just arrived. What do I have here? Not very much, I must say. But it was so nice to have a sip of water. I haven't had a sip of water since before surgery. Actually, I didn't have a sip of water since the night before, actually, because you have to fast from water and also from foods. So yeah, that first sip, heaven. And it looks like I have some milk and some cookies. So I'm going to do the pee situation again and I'm going to try to show you exactly what you need to do to be able to get the right angle so that you can get it in the hole first time and you don't have any leakages. You need to tilt the bed on an angle. I think this looks good. So, all right, Casper, go and grab the device. Yeah, that's the pee device that I'm going to be using. Oh, yes. Once I can stand up, this is going to be a whole lot easier. But while I still have to be lying in bed, we got to work with this thing. I also did bring my own female urinary device, which is a Shiwi. So I will definitely try and use that later, but it definitely doesn't have the right angle right now to conquer this. Mission accomplished. That was quite successful, I think. So that was good, opposed to earlier. So my pro tip here is to make sure that you get the bed as angled as possible. I'm gonna try to get this bed back to normal again. I think I'm good. Oh God, I think I need to pee again. Oh my God, it actually won't be long, not gonna lie. I just took my first steps. They were a little wobbly, a little shaky. It felt quite stiff to stand up straight, but I feel good. And now I'm just sitting, chilling over here in the corner in the recliner, and I got my first proper glimpse of my legs. I mean, I'm wrapped up like a mummy and there's loads of pads that are kind of catching the drips from the incisions. So I can't really see the shape, but I'm pretty excited though. Even with all of this, they look smaller, which is so exciting. Well, that has certainly been an eventful day, but overall I've been feeling fantastic, so much better than I expected. I've even been for quite a few walks around the room here. I've been into the bathroom and they've certainly been giving me lots of fluids. I think
think I'm up to bag number 6, so I'm definitely well hydrated. I've also been doing some little exercises as well, so sitting on the bed and then getting up, sitting down, getting up, working the muscles a little bit. And I've also been doing some calf raises to help with the swelling and to increase the circulation. It's actually been feeling really good to move a bit. The more I lie here in the bed, the stiffer I actually feel. So I have been lifting my legs up a bit and then putting them down, and I have been moving my ankles around a bit as well. It's really important to have somebody to support you while you're walking for the first couple of days, because I've definitely felt a little bit off balance and a little bit giddy. You don't want to fall over on top of having this operation. Oh my gosh. That was so painful. The nurse just came in to give me my anti-thrombosis injection, and it actually goes straight into your stomach. That was really intense going in, but also really intense now. I can still feel it. I'm going to put up with it, obviously, because it serves a good cause. I think it's time for lights out, and I'll say goodnight, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye. Good morning. I'm awake, or should I say still awake. I didn't really have very much sleep last night. It was really hard to get these legs comfortable. Finally, probably about 3 a.m, I was able to roll a little bit on my side and then stuff a whole heap of sheets underneath my legs to kind of get myself in a side position, so I was able to turn my head. So that was pretty okay. And then I think I slept from then 3 till about 6 when the nurse came in to give me my pain medication and to change my fluids. So that kind of woke me up, unfortunately. And then I was like, oh, now I need to go to the bathroom. I'm not having really any pain. It's just more of a tenderness and a very stiff feeling. When I'm standing, I can definitely feel that he's completely gone to town on that area that's above my knees, because it feels very swollen and hard. And when I stand up, it's really stiff. It's really hard to straighten my leg out. That's probably the most kind of uncomfortable feeling that I'm having. And then I'm getting these small twinges every now and then. But other than that, I'm feeling pretty good. So crossing fingers all goes well with the checkup this morning, because then I can go home. This was it. The moment I'd been waiting for. The first look at my new legs. At first, I just stared. Total shock. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Were these really my legs?
Skinny little legs.
Little chicken legs.
Yeah.
I actually have a knee shape here, it's round. I haven't seen my knee since I was probably, a teenager for sure.
Then the floodgates opened. Everything I'd carried for the last 20 years, every insecurity, every silent struggle, all came pouring out.
I thought I was going to live like this forever, and it'd get worse, and I never thought that I would have normal legs. I thought I would always be deformed.
I can't thank Dr. Burgos and his team enough. They didn't just change my legs, they gave me my life back. It was a really emotional moment seeing the results for the first time. I think I was stunned, in shock. I just couldn't believe that they were actually my legs. I could see my knees and my ankles. I look a little bit like a chicken drumstick. But it's going to be even amazing, even just with this, to be able to wear shorts or a dress or something like that. How amazing is it going to be to have normal legs? I never thought that I was going to have normal legs ever. So everything's going well. I've got the all clear, so I'm ready to go home now. So we're about to go down and catch an Uber back to our apartment. Good morning. I survived my first night. So feeling pretty good so far, not a lot of pain, just very uncomfortable and stiff in my legs, super stiff. I'm walking like I have tree trunks for legs and they feel really, really heavy. So we got back to the apartment yesterday afternoon and we didn't really do too much, just really chilled. I found a really good spot on the couch and put my feet up, had something to eat, watched a bit of Netflix, and then I got up every now and then just to get my circulation going and to keep my joints moving. So I did a few calf raises and yeah, just potted around the apartment a bit. The MLD lady has just left now. We took my compression off. I was really scared actually, because this was the big reveal to see my legs. I wasn't really sure how this was going to go because I have a lot of incisions and I was worried that the compression pants were going to be stuck to it. But she got it off pretty easily. And yeah, I got to see my legs for the very first time. And
wow, like I can't believe that they're my legs. So every day I have to have manual lymphatic drainage. It's a special massage technique where they remove the fluid from the legs. At the end of the massage, then I had to put my compression back on. And there's a very special technique for doing that. And they use a device called an Arion slide. So there's two parts to it. There's these green bottom parts that fit over the lower legs, and then these orange parts that wrap around the top legs. So you set yourself up with all of this, and then you put the compression over the top, and then you have to pull the slides out. So the green ones from the bottom and then the orange ones up from the top. So it looked pretty easy, I have to say. Casper and I are gonna have to do this every day because I have to take my compression off to go to sleep every night. So every morning we're gonna have to put them back on. Cross fingers we can get this right. So unfortunately my compression now is very loose around the bottom of the legs, which is to be expected because there was so much volume taken out. So I will have to go to a orthopedic and get another set of compression garments to put over the top of these existing ones that I have. Yeah, that's not going to be ideal wearing two pairs of compressions. That was a bit of a rough night and a little bit of a rough morning, I have to say. So last night I had to take my compression off, which was fine. Casper put the Linavera oil all over my legs, which was great. But I have to say, taking the compression off, it gave me a little bit of like a head spin type of feeling. I was feeling quite weak. It's just a very weird sensation. When I have my compression on, everything is all locked in and tight and supported. And then when the compression is off, everything's very loose and kind of flopping and feels very sensitive. It was hard to find a really good position to sleep in. I did manage to sleep on my side with my leg leaning on a stack of towels, but even though my leg was on a stack of towels, something soft, it felt like it was lying on concrete. It's the weirdest sensation. It just, everything feels very hard. Then I had to go to the toilet in the middle of the night, and because I wasn't wearing compression, I can't actually stand up. I have to lie down, I have to stay in bed. So we tried using the Shiwi and the urinary bottle technique, and what can I say? We missed. I think there was something wrong with the angle there because some of the fluid was slipping backwards and yeah, it got all over the bed. Luckily, we bought these amazing mattress protectors from Amazon, and I have to say, we put them to the test and they work great. So thank goodness. So this morning started off okay. We put the Linavera oil all over my legs, basically drenched my legs in it. The more that you use, the better apparently, because it stops any type of friction burns and ulceration of the skin, any erosion of the skin. So it's very, very important to put this on. At 4 o'clock today, I'm heading to the MLD clinic. They will take the compression off again and they will do some treatments on my legs before putting the compression, everything back on. As you can see, my hair is absolutely dreadful. I can't shower for about 7 to 10 days. I'm looking a little rough at the moment, but I'm gonna see if Casper can maybe give my hair a wash in the sink here at the apartment, just to freshen me up a little bit, make me feel better. And then I might give myself a little bit of a bath with some wet wipes again. So overall, not too much pain, just very tight and very stiff. It is a little bit hard to walk, especially bending the knees. But overall, I'm just sticking to alternating between paracetamol and ibuprofen. So I haven't taken any of the other painkillers. So I think I'm managing my pain really well and things are going well in that way. But I have to say, it was great to see my legs. It will all be worth it in the end. I just have to keep the end goal in my mind. Like I have to be like, okay, I can see that. I can see the finish line because this is a massive process. I mean, in another 10 weeks, I'm doing this all over again for the top legs. So I just have to keep my eye on the prize. I have to keep focused because it's looking amazing and I can only imagine what it's going to be like when, you know, this whole thing is finished. So I'm day 4 post-op and I'm feeling really good, just a little bit emotional. Went to brunch this morning at a cafe and the Coldplay song Fix You came on and I just started blubbering because I've never put myself first and it's just such a crazy feeling to finally fix me because I've been suffering with this for so long and dealing with this my whole life. And to finally have the chance to fix myself is just huge. And I also thought about my doctor as well, Dr. Burgos, trying to fix me and make me better. So it just all came out this morning.
But this is happy tears. These are not sad tears. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that I'm doing this and that I have this opportunity to fix me. I'm super swollen today though. Oh my gosh. My feet and my ankles look like potatoes, I would say. They are so swollen. It is normal. It's just the fluid and everything that's just collecting in my feet because of gravity. I was expecting it. I wasn't shocked. But yeah, they do look like potatoes and it makes it a little bit hard to walk with all the swelling. It's really hard to bend my knees, so I'm walking like a penguin, just waddling along.
One of the hardest parts of my day is the compression routine. Every single day, Casper helps me put them on using the easy slides. It takes time, effort, and a whole lot of patience. Carers really do have one of the toughest jobs. They're the quiet heroes behind the scenes. And honestly, I can't thank Casper enough for all the love and support he gives me.
So the recovery is going really well. My legs are healing. I am black and blue though. Oh my gosh, the bruises. I have never seen anything like it. But the incisions have healed. There's no more leaking. So I've definitely entered the dreaded swell hell phase. My legs are so swollen and I'm wearing double compression, which is making it worse. My custom made flat knit compressions no longer fit me properly and they're not giving the level of compression that is needed after surgery. So I went and got another pair of round knit compressions to wear over the top. But oh my gosh, by the end of the day, around my knee and around the back of my knee, it feels like it's going to pop and I can hardly bend my knee. I'm sure it'll all be worth it and this will feel a lot more comfortable once the swelling goes down, but I will actually have to wear this double compression until my next surgery because it needs to all be fully compressed to reduce any of the swelling, but also to prepare for my next surgery. One thing though that I have been really looking forward to every day is my MLD sessions. So my manual lymphatic drainage massages. Oh my gosh, absolute game changer. The girls at Sana Manzana, oh my gosh, they are absolutely amazing. They're so gentle and caring, and it's just so nice for them to be able to look over my legs every day and just give me that reassurance that everything is going okay, because every day when I wake up, there's different things. They're changing in color, they're changing in size. I was getting some swelling behind my knee yesterday that was like puckering, but they assured me that it was all very normal and just very part of the process. I think if I wasn't going every day, I would feel a lot more anxious. So it's really helping to just calm my nerves and just give me that reassurance that everything is healing well. It's also just so nice to take all the compression off and then they do this beautiful gentle massage on my legs. I just feel like I'm getting pampered. It's almost like a little bit of a spa day every day. So it definitely gives some relief and it gets rid of a lot of the fluid in my legs. So it really gets the lymphatic system happening in my body. They also use a machine where they strap my feet into these pedals and they go up and down. So it's like a little bit of a passive workout for my joints and my ankles and my calves, but it helps to stimulate the lymphatic system and get all that fluid moving throughout the body so it's not accumulating all in one area. So I'm definitely encouraged to walk and move as much as possible without overdoing it, of course. We've been out on the street. We are located in such an amazing area here in Madrid. We're right in the inner city. Puerta del Sol is just 2 minutes that way. I mean, maybe it takes about 15 for me to walk, but for normal people, 2 minutes that way. And it's just been so lovely just to stroll around the streets and people watch and just get out and get some fresh air. It's been so lovely staying in the inner city. It's been really convenient to restaurants and grocery stores. So yeah, I would definitely recommend if you're coming for surgery in Madrid to stay in the inner city. There's so much more to do. It's more lively. I think it just boosts your mood as well. I think if I was staying closer to the hospital, I think I'd feel a bit meh. So when choosing an Airbnb, it's really important to choose the right place that's going to be suitable for a wheelchair and also for a little bit of a lack of mobility. So making sure that you have an elevator is really important. Once you get up to the apartment, it's completely flat. It's all on one level. We have a full-size kitchen with a fridge and sink. We have an oven and also a washing machine, which is really important because you will need to wash your compression pants and also your Arion slides and obviously any clothes that get messed up during the surgery. It's good to have a place that has a comfy couch and somewhere that you can put your feet up, and of course, a decent sized TV for Netflix. It's essential to book an apartment that has a shower. You need to be able to sit down to have your showers. So having a shower, you can put a chair in there and it's nice and easy. We also booked this apartment because of the balcony outside. Just having some outdoor space is really nice because we're obviously spending a lot of time here at the apartment. So being able to go and sit out there and just look out and see what's going on and the action around us. It's so nice to be able to just go out and get some sun and some fresh air and just relax outside a little bit and just a bit of a change of scenery.
This is the checkup before the patients leave back home. It usually takes place between day 7 and to day 12. This is not a consultation for seeing results of any kind. It's for seeing the general evolution, to see the skins, to see the incisions, to see that everything's going as it should, and to make the patient know that everything that she's experiencing is normal, or if there's anything that is worrisome, we're just gonna treat that, like there's an erosion or a blister, can give some recommendations. But right now, as we see this situation, everything looks as it should, all right? Meaning that there's bruisings here and there, different colors, but little by little they are fading away. We have a lot of bruisings in here, in here, and here. In her case, this area was not as affected compared to this area here. So as we work much more around the knee is going to be much more swollen for a longer period of time. So we don't see the definition of the knee because it's super early in the process. We need to know that the patient usually starts to see something they like month 2, 3, 4. The final result with the reabsorption of the swelling is going to be month 9 to 12. So here we see also that the incisions, they look really great. No sign of irritation, absolutely no sign of infection. So yes, everything as it should. Very happy to see the evolution. This is a consultation we do to all our patients before they leave back home to their country, answer their questions before they leave. Anyhow, they're going to keep a lot of contact with our team. We're going to have a lot of contact through WhatsApp with our team, but still it's always good to have a moment of seeing us like face to face.
Yeah, thank you so much. They're looking amazing. And I think I can see a little bit of a knee coming through here. I said to Casper last night, I'm like, what is this lump? And he's like, that's your knee. I'm like, yes, it's a knee. And I'm really impressed with how Dr. Burgos was able to blend it up, because obviously I have a lot of volume up in this top area of my thighs.
We always have to do a transition because there's going to be a transition between an area that is treated with an area that's not treated, but it's never like a step. It's going to be always try to be progressive because those 2 months in between the one surgery to the next one, we like to look it as natural as possible. It's going to be noticeable, but not that much as one could think.
Yeah. Next surgery, when we do the front, where do you start? Like,
so
do you start
in the next surgery, so when we do the surgeries, we overlap them, meaning that if this surgery was from the ankles to above the knee, in the next surgery was going to be the front part of the thighs. We're going to again reopen this to revisit a bit the knee if needed. All right, so we just crisscross them and we're going to do all the front just to this half. We just revisit them so it looks very smooth and very natural.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, perfect.
I can't believe that it's 10 days since I've had my surgery. Where has this last 10 days gone? It has completely flown by. All the days have kind of rolled into each other and it's been an absolute blur. But what I am happy about is that I'm over the swell hell phase. Well, not entirely. I've come down the other side. My legs have freed up a lot more. I'm able to walk a lot better. I'm not waddling as much. And I had a shower for the first time last night. Like an actual shower. I sat down in the shower and it was just the most magical feeling to feel the warm water on my skin. It was so nice. I feel so fresh and yeah, I feel really excited today. So each day has pretty much been the same routine. We wake up, I do a wee, Casper puts all the creams on my legs. We do the whole compression routine with the Arion slides. It's quite an exhausting little program, I have to say. Then Casper brings me breakfast. Thank you so much, Casper. And then we relax a little bit, watch a little bit of Netflix. I might do a little bit of exercise, some heel raises and some leg swings. And then we head off to MLD. And then after that, we do lunch. And then we come back, relax a little bit more, do a few more exercises before we go out for dinner. And then the nighttime program. That's also a little bit of an ordeal. So we have to strip off all the compression layers, put all the creams and everything on, and then I need to find a comfortable position to actually sleep. So that's pretty much my daily routine. And you can see why that would all blur into each other over the last 10 days. So tomorrow we fly home. I'm so excited to see Ella and just to get home and be in my bed. I can't wait to sleep on my pillow and not have to worry about staining the Airbnb sheets anymore and just start to get back into a normal routine.
Living with lipedema definitely comes with a lot of challenges, not just physically, but also mentally as well. I really feel like I've been living in two different bodies my whole life, and I've kind of felt deformed, to be honest. I covered my body with every chance that I could get. I would never take photos, full-length body photos. Like there's literally no photos of my legs in our camera rolls. It's really difficult. I'm getting emotional talking about it. Seems stupid, but it's really difficult to go shopping. I can't wear jeans like everyone else. I've never worn a pair of boots in my life. It's been a constant battle, daily, every day of my life. I come up with so many excuses because I don't want to go to the beach. I don't want to be seen in a bikini or swimwear because I'm worried about people looking at my legs. I'm so embarrassed and so ashamed. And I blamed myself for years. I killed myself at the gym, put myself through ridiculous workouts and 12-week challenges. I restricted my calories down to barely nothing, and my upper body would get so small, and my face and my neck would get so small, but my legs would just always be there. My thighs, I could never get rid of them. I would always wear long dresses and long skirts and things that would cover my legs. People don't understand. They think I'm just fat, I'm lazy, that I just eat shit. People judge me, think that surgery is the easy way out, but it's not the easy way out. If I actually want to live a full and happy life, a pain-free life, and be able to enjoy my time with my family, then I have to have surgery. I have to remove this disgusting fat from my body. I'm such a fun, loving person, and I'm energetic, and I love to have a good time, but this disease has cast a shadow over my life. I started feeling a lot of this shame and pressure and embarrassment right from an early age because I was a dancer when I was younger. So there was always this constant pressure to eat less, exercise more, and just be thinner. And I truly believe that it actually triggered an eating disorder. I would go through these periods where I would starve myself, and then I would realize it's not working. And then I would just give up, and then I would eat like a crazy person. And then it would start all over again. This vicious cycle of binge eating, feeling guilty, starving myself, and then going back to binge eating and so on. But little did I know that this was not my fault. When I found out that I had lipedema, oh my gosh,
It just was like a weight lifted off my shoulders, because for the first time I realized that this wasn't my fault. This was a disease, a condition that I couldn't control. I feel like my life is starting right now, and I'm so hopeful and so excited about it. These are my new lower legs. I cannot believe these are mine. It has been 8 weeks since my surgery. Oh my gosh, and my life has already changed so much. I no longer have the pain and heaviness and achy feeling in this area here. I'm still a little bit swollen in a few areas, such as my ankles and around my knees, but overall, wow, I am so impressed by these results. Look at them. I have a knee, look at this, and I have ankles. Goodbye, cankles. Dr. Burgos did an amazing job blending my lower legs to my upper legs. You really can't see any distinct line at all. You can see that he took so much volume from this area here. And check out this. I have a calf muscle. I'm so excited about these results already, and this is just the start. I do have a little bit of loose skin hanging over my knees, but hopefully this will tighten up with some time. So much volume already has been removed from this area. It's so hard to believe that these are my legs. So I still have 2 more surgeries on my legs to go. The second surgery is going to be focusing on my upper legs. Dr. Burgos is going to revisit these areas here and do a little bit more tweaking, and then he's going to be concentrating on removing the volume from the top part of my legs. He's going to be removing this fat from my outer thighs and also my inner thighs, and he's going to be removing this D shape that I have here at the front of my leg. The third surgery is going to be focusing on this area here and my inner thighs and removing this volume from this part here. This section of my leg is super fibrotic, so it's going to be so exciting to get rid of this because this is so heavy. These surgeries are going to be taking place over the next 4 months, so make sure that you stay tuned because I'm going to be documenting everything in an upcoming video. So make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my massive transformation to come. This has been one heck of a journey so far and quite the emotional roller coaster, but also a life-changing experience. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm so proud of myself for taking control of my life. But this is just the beginning. So make sure that you follow along on the Bold Body Project on Instagram for all the behind the scenes action. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.